Hey everyone, it's Milo here for the Fellowship of Acoustics and welcome back to yet another episode of New Arrivals. We're back here at the store and we're going to find which are our 4 favorite guitars that came in last week. And as always, it's up to you to pick your favorite. And you can leave a comment down below or vote in the poll in the community side of our YouTube page. Last week we couldn't upload a poll because there was an issue with one of the images. So we don't know which is your favorite, so I can ask Timon. You did the presenting. Timon, favorite of the week?
Yuri Swifting's Dreadnought.
Yeah. There was a great sounding guitar and there were some comments on that guitar as well. So we're going to dive in. There's not a lot of choice today, but I think there are some interesting guitars in there. And we're going to start with some Les Pauls. Maybe we can have a look first at this Les Paul here that Colin has. This is an Eastman SB59V, like a gold burst, right? 2021. And this is actually really lightweight. You know how heavy Les Pauls can get, Laura?
Oh.
For a Les Paul, this is really lightweight. So what you say, 3.5 kilos?
Yeah.
3.5 kilos for a Les Paul. So don't know how that translates to pounds, but it is a light Les Paul. So if you want this, it will be online pretty soon. K2400843 is the serial number. Now you know. I'm thinking there was a collector that wanted to get rid of some of his Jimmy Page Les Pauls because we have 3 right now. So let's open them all. I think I don't have to explain who Jimmy Page is. Let's start with these 2. So these are all Jimmy Page signature guitars by the Gibson Custom Shop. Let's start with the most expensive. Let's do that. It's this one right here. All right, so we have a burst, a 1959 burst. This was called the number 1. So I'm guessing this was Jimmy Page's number 1 guitar. I read up on it a little bit and I found that he got this guitar from Joe Walsh, who we know from the Eagles. He gave or he sold this guitar to Jimmy Page. And Jimmy used this extensively on the Led Zeppelin II record. So this became his favorite guitar and it replaced his Dragon Telly, which is also a signature that you can buy. But this became his favorite. Joe Walsh did some things to this, the original guitar, before he sold it to Jimmy Page, like shaving down the neck. So this is a pretty slim and thin neck. Normally 1959 is a really comfortable, like C-shape. It's in between, not too thin, not too thick. This is pretty thin. Might be one of the reasons that Joe Walsh sold it, because he didn't like the feel of the guitar anymore. Then over the years, some things were changed in Jimmy Page's possession. One of the things we have to mention are the new Grover tuners. It says here, Page 051. Then there's also a push-pull. And I think that reverses the polarity of the neck. So you could say that this is like the Peter Green mod, that you get an out-of-phase sound in the middle position. Maybe if we pick this guitar, then we'll find out if we make a demo of it. But that is such a cool sound, I think, the Peter Green mod. I will have a look at these documents and find out which pickups are in here. Unfortunately, no information about the pickups, so you do get this beautiful certificate of authenticity. I don't know, maybe this was signed by Jimmy. It says here, Page 051. It is one of 150 instruments that were built based on a 1959 Les Paul and painstakingly aged by historic Finnish expert Tom Murphy, of course. Next up, we'll have a look inside this case. Another signature. Whoa. Okay, a Black Beauty. A 3 pickup Black Beauty with a Bixby on it. Jimmy also used a Black Beauty a lot on, I think, in the Yardbirds as well, and then also on the first 2 Led Zeppelin records. So this is another signature of one of his actual guitars. I know that the Black Beauty that Jimmy had was stolen in 1970. And then in 2000, I think this is 2008, Gibson decided to do a run of, I think, 500 of these signatures for Jimmy. And then in 2015, the guitar returned. I don't know how exactly, but he found it back. So now there are signatures and also the original is back in his possession. One thing that really stands out is this. There's now a little bit of plastic here to show that I think this should be like this. There is a 6-way switch. I've never seen this before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little bit confusing, but when you have 3 pickups, you have to do something. All right, so two also really expensive Jimmy Page signatures. There's one more that I want to open. There's a little bit more affordable. This one was built in 1995. All right. Another Jimmy Page Les Paul standard. No covers on the humbuckers, unfortunately. Signature on the pickguard. I'm thinking this Les Paul was not like a limited run like the other two, but more of a standard issue. We also see an ad here that comes with the case, Gibson USA. Jimmy holding his guitar. Some golden hardware. In terms of looks, this is not my favorite of the three. We're going to pick one of the three. Seeing that we have to demo a lot of pickup positions on this Black Beauty, I think we're going with the number one, the 1959, this one right here. This will be our first choice for this new rifle, so let's demo this one. For this next round, I think let's do some acoustic guitars. I saw that there were some OM or O size guitars as well, so let's pick a few and demo them. This might be nice, a 0028 VS, second-hand one from 2021. Ooh, nice, with a clear pickguard. That's a nice twist. So a 12-fret 0028, which I really love. With the slope shoulder 12-fret design and the sound hole being more towards the middle of the top, I find you get a nicer bass and response. Can be a little bit too much sometimes, depends on the guitar of course, but it sounds really full I think. Also with a 0028 guitar. And I think this clear pickguard is really nice. It looks a lot better than maybe a standard issue Martin pickguard. Indian rosewood back and sides, and we have a Adirondack spruce top. Let me double check that for you. Yeah, this is a Adirondack spruce top. Of course, a slotted headstock that always comes with the 12-fret slope shoulder guitars. Like I thought it was going to sound a really nice and full low end, also when playing pretty softly. Beautiful sound. Also the attack is like a bell-like, like rounded off. Really beautiful. But there are, I think, maybe 2 or 3 others that we're going to shoot out. This is a Santa Cruz OM guitar from 2017. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, really nice. Ooh, really lightweight guitar. Another beautiful instrument from Santa Cruz in Santa Cruz, California. Indian rosewood back and sides. And contrary to the Martin we just had, this is a Sitka spruce top. I always love like the sound hole, how this is rounded towards the middle with the Santa Cruz OM guitars. Second hand from 2017, but really, really clean. So let's see how this one compares to the Martin that we just heard. Another great sounding OM guitar, OM sized. This is a little bit more focused than the Triple O. That sounded really full and luscious. This is a little bit more centered, and I like that. Great note separation on this one. Difficult decision between the two, but let's see what else we can find. Another OM, this time an Atkin. 2023. Ooh. OM 37, even lighter than the Santa Cruz. And this one is a heavy aged, as you can clearly see if you look at the top. It's also a little bit like faded, not as shiny as a standard Atkin. Of course, they always relic their guitars a little bit. Also, the non-relic guitars have like a crackling in the finish, but this time they really went to town and bettered this one. You can see on the back as well. Another Indian rosewood back and sides, a Sitka spruce top, and this is baked like Atkin does on all their guitars. And they always have like a specific Atkin sound. So let's see if this one has that as well. When I compare it to the Santa Cruz we just had, this one has more shimmery, high end. The Santa Cruz was like more focused in the mid-range, but it had really great note separation in there. This has the typical Atkin sound, which is like open and clear right out of the box. I think for this round, might not be my favorite. It sounds really great. It is pretty heavy aged, not really my kind of taste. So I think it's between the Santa Cruz and the Martin. Let's have a think. Laura, any ideas? Triple O 28 VS or a Santa Cruz OM?
I would choose the Santa Cruz.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a Santa Cruz. Also, because I'm going away to the United States for a few weeks after shooting this video. And I will also be visiting Santa Cruz. So shout out to Santa Cruz. See you in a few weeks. We're going with the OM from Santa Cruz. Bye. I think it's pretty funny that right when we shoot a Jimmy Page themed New Arrivals episode, we don't ever see like Jimmy Page custom signature guitars. Then there's also a new signature by Jake Kiszka. And we know him as the guitarist for Greta Van Fleet. And a lot of people will say that Greta Van Fleet is heavily influenced by Led Zeppelin. And this is his signature, based on a 61 SG. You always see Jake playing a SG on stage. I don't think a lot of things have been changed on this SG. Of course, in 61 it was still a Les Paul. As you can see here on the Trustwald cover. We're going to stay with the signatures. And now we're moving over to Fender land. And we have a signature for one of the greatest session musicians of all time. Jimmy Page was also a session musician before he played in the Yardbirds and in Led Zeppelin, by the way. You will have heard this guitarist play on a lot of records, and he toured with the greatest artist of all time. It is Michael Landau. And this is a 2015 custom shop, like a Fiesta over Sunburst finish. Again, based on one of Michael's guitars. Michael Landau has a really long relationship with Fender. There are a lot of signature products for him. He also sells like accessories, also like pickups a lot. And Michael Landau recorded and toured with artists like James Taylor, Joni Mitchell as well, Boz Scaggs as well. And a lot of the time he plays a Strat like this, like a Fiesta Strat. But next to his session work, he also makes his own records, really guitar focused, of course. And those are really, really cool. And not a lot of people listen to his own personal music, so I think you really should. And this guitar will be up on the website pretty soon. 2015 Michael Landau. A Gretsch guitar is up next. The Gretsch model numbers are always like a riddle to me. I really don't understand them. Just give me something like Falcon and then I understand it, or Penguin. But when it's a lot of numbers, G and a lot of numbers, I don't really understand it. This is a Penguin though. G6134 TG58 limited edition, 1958. Let's see. Oh, that is cool. Like a really dark green or greenish black. Is this green?
Looks like blue to me.
Is it black? Huh? Another mystery. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think? Is it blue, black, or green? Now with the light on, it's like bluish, like the night sky. So this is a Penguin model, a single cut guitar, a pretty thick body but chambered, so lightweight as well. Golden hardware, of course, with the Filtertrons on here. I just really love the Penguin design. It's just a really cute Penguin, I think. Also another thing that really matches well with like the dark green forest midnight sky color is this golden binding and also like accents everywhere. This is like an amber gold sparkle. So right now I'm thinking maybe going with a Gretsch or with the Michael Landau, which is a cool guitar as well. There's one more guitar that I want to throw in the mix, and it's a guitar out of Germany. We have a Duesenberg guitar. I would say the Duesenberg cases are also some of the best out there. So if you get this with your guitar, I think it's just a really good deal. And the Duesenberg guitars are already really sturdy and stable and high quality. This is a Goldtop Starplayer from 2011. So we have another single cut guitar. This one is hollow, semi-hollow, with an F-hole here. A Goldtop. Yeah, everything about Duesenberg is like really stable and high quality. Like I said, like just listen to this switch. And the tremolo they use is also really stable. Tuning wise, you get a humbucker in the bridge and a P90 in the neck, which is a great combo, I think. And also might be because this is a semi-hollow, but it's not in tune, but it's really loud. And it's like a full sound acoustically. Okay, so a lot of options. 2 single cuts and a Stratocaster. We do already have a single cut. The Jimmy Page, Les Paul. Laura?
Penguin.
Penguin. Penguin? Penguin. Penguin. So we got one vote for the Penguin. 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 Colin, do you have an opinion? You like Duesenbergs, right?
Yeah, really. I vote for the Duesenberg.
A Duesenberg vote. Timon, do you have a vote?
I vote for the Landau.
Landau, oh, 1-1-1. Jurgen?
Oh.
Duesenberg. Wowee. Okay. It's been a while since we've had a Duesenberg in the new arrivals. And I think this second-hand one from 2015 is suitable for this week. So let's just do it. Another single cut. Third choice. going to end the show again with a acoustic round, and this time no OMs but dreadnoughts. And we already had a 0028 VS, slope shoulder, 12 fret, and this is a D28S from 1991. So another slope shoulder, 12 fret Martin guitar. Check that out. Indian rosewood back and sides. Ooh, really nice set on here. Sitka spruce top. This has like a late 60s Martin look to it. We have the CF Martin logo on the inside, of course, but then there's also another signature. I don't know if you can catch this, but it also says CF Martin the 4th. So I think this was his personal guitar. You heard it here first. This was CF Martin's personal guitar. This is not the greatest playing guitar. Maybe we need to do another setup, another round of looks at it. It isn't also my favorite sounding guitar of the day. Mostly I really like slope shoulder D28s. This one doesn't really speak to me personally, but of course that isn't to say that it isn't the perfect guitar for you, maybe. So if you're in the vicinity, then please come by the store and try out a lot of guitars, because I think that is the most important thing. There is another slope shoulder dreadnought that we're going to try out, and that is another Atkin. The second Atkin of the week. This time a D37S, a medium aged. So you can immediately see the difference between the heavy age that we already saw and this one. On this one, the crackling on the top comes through more clearly. I think there are some dings here. Another slope shoulder 12 fret design, herringbone on here, Sitka spruce top, Indian rosewood back and sides, and a slotted headstock. Let's just play a little bit right away and see if I like this one more. I like this one more than the D28 we just had. A little bit fuller, not too much bass end on this one. I think this will record beautifully as well. Seeing that we didn't pick an Atkin for the OM round, I think we're going with the D37S. Medium age, second hand from 2023, if I'm not mistaken. This is our fourth and final choice. Okay guys, that was it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode of New Arrivals. Please let us know which is your favorite of the week. So let's do a quick run through again. We just picked a D37S, we have a Sennheiser OM, a Starplayer TV, Goldtop, and then the Jimmy Page Custom, the #1. I'm leaning towards the Starplayer. I really like the Goldtop, though the Sennheiser OM was also a great sounding guitar. Laura, favorite of the week? Sennheiser OM. So another shout out to Sennheiser, Richard Hoover. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next week's episode. So see you then. Oh, I won't be there for a few weeks because I'm in the USA. So see you later. Bye.